नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। This is JVN Professor Dr. Anil Kumar Bangani, HOD Department of Repertory. I welcome you all in this class which occurs at 1 p.m. daily for final BHMS on digital version 2 at JVWU platform, which is the best women university in India. We are delivering these digital sessions on YouTube video channel at this link, which you can click and reach as per schedule provided by the university, having best homeopathic college in Jaipur. Please listen carefully what uh, I will narrate in the lecture. I hope I will be able to satisfy your quest for knowledge. After that, please drop your queries in comment box, which we will answer in the solving session day allotted by the university. Let us now begin with the digital session. So we are going to discuss today on understanding the repertorial language. हम जानते हैं कई तरह की repertories available हैं. More than 300 repertories are available to us nowadays. But how to understand repertory depends on understanding of the repertorial language. कि उसमें किस तरीके से symptoms को convert करके लिखा जाता है, उसको समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तभी हम repertory को समझ पाएंगे. तो repertorial language के अलावा भी हमें कई चीज़ों का ज्ञान होना आवश्यक है. For example, the philosophical background. कुछ repertories philosophies पे based हैं. उन philosophy को समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है उनके application के लिए. लेकिन first of all, we must understand the repertorial language. We already know repertory is the index of symptoms of homeopathic materia medica arranged in a systematic way with corresponding group of indicated medicines graded as far as possible. More than 300 repertories are available to our profession, and the objectives of all those repertories are same. That is to make similimum the search of similimum easy, but construction and philosophy being different. So what is most important is to understand the philosophical background, the construction of various repertories, as well as the arrangement, how these rubrics are written in each and every repertory, which really makes a difference in grasping over them. So what about philosophical background? All the repertories are based on more or less some plan, some philosophies, which influence their construction and arrangement to fulfill the purpose. Thus, to select the right rubric, we need to grasp and understand the repertory's background. For example, Kant's repertory is planned from general to particular concept, following philosophy of deductive logic. And to the contrary, Bonniganson's repertory is based on plan of particular to general, that is, philosophy of inductive logic. On grasping above points only, we will be able to understand the distribution of rubrics, the way of writing or arranging rubrics in these repertories. Most of later repertories follow above two constructions, that is, the general to particular and the particular to general. In Kant repertory, we see, जैसा कि आप देखेंगे कि the first chapter is mind and the last chapter is generalities. So collectively, these both chapters are the soul of this work. But generals are also present in various other chapters like in stomach, desires and aversion, thirst, in fever, in modalities, general modalities, you find the generals. chill, heat, sweat. All the fever chapter consists of general. Skin is especially general. The parts of the skin are given with particular chapters, but the generals of the skin are given in the skin chapter. So these are all the generals. So we must understand the philosophy that the generals are important. Then we must understand the plan of general to particular, how it is arranged. Then we must understand the arrangement, that first of all there is a broad general rubric. Then there is a particular sub rubric which has uh, a few remedies than the general broad rubric. Then there is sub rubric in which there are uh, 2, 3, 4, 5 medicines only on each sub rubric. So from broad it goes to define. This arrangement is from general to particular. So Kant repertory follows construction up to arrangement from general to particular. Not only in philosophy, this concept is followed, also in construction and arrangement. In construction, you see mind chapter is the first and generalities is the last, and stomach in between. So from periphery to mid, you can see there's distribution of general rubrics. And in the arrangement, there is from broad rubrics to the refined rubrics, again general to particular. So most of the later repertories are following these constructions, with a few exceptions like total alphabetical construction, for example, Murphy's repertory. Then there are some certain non-philosophical repertories, for example, Nair's repertory, which is a type of Puritan repertory in which patient's or prover's language is given as such alphabetically. The chapters are given systematic alphabet, self-systematic, in a systematic way, in a Hahnemannian fashion of classification, that is anatomical classification, whereas the rubrics are given alphabetically. So we have to discuss to understand the rubric, the various types of repertory. To understand the repertorial language of the particular repertory, while matching it with patient's language, one must be acquainted that it also depends on the gross type of repertory, whether it is Puritan type or logico-utilitarian type of repertory. In Puritan repertory, the language of prover or patient is quoted as such in case of data from drug proving or patient, depending on the whole connected sentence and has a collective broad meaning. तो Puritan repertory में जो पेशेंट और प्रूवर की जो लैंग्वेज है, उस लैंग्वेज और सेंटेंस में 2 या 3 रूब्रिक एक साथ बंधे हुए हैं, वो एज सच दिए हुए हैं और वो कलेक्टिवली ही अपने आप में एक ब्रॉड मीनिंग रखता है, टोटलिटी की ओर इंडिकेट करता है, अगर एज सच रिपर्टरी में मिल जाए. In comparison, logico-utilitarian type of repertories, there is only single word given as rubric, and the rest of connective words, they are distributed at sub-rubric or sub-sub-rubric. So there is breakage of that sentence into various rubrics to enhance the utility, but it loses the originality of meaning reflected in the full sentence as there in Puritan repertories. The essence of sentence is many times lost in this arrangement. So logico-utilitarian repertory, they are easy to search क्योंकि अल्फाबेटिकली रूब्रिक, सब रूब्रिक, सब रूब्रिक अरेंज कर दिए जाते हैं, उससे में सर्च बहुत इजी हो जाती है. और पेशेंट ने जो लैंग्वेज बोली है, अगर हम उसको सबको कन्वर्ट करें रूब्रिक में, तो हम प्यूरिटन रिपर्टरी की तरह ही इसमें भी रूब्रिक, सब रूब्रिक और सब रूब्रिक लेने पर सेम सेंटेंस फॉर्म कर देते हैं और यहाँ पे भी हम वही यूटिलाइजेशन ले सकते हैं प्यूरिटन की तरह. लेकिन हमारे वर्क में वो प्रॉम्प्टनेस, वो एग्जैक्टनेस होना बहुत आवश्यक है। हमने अगर कोई भी रूब्रिक यहाँ मिस किया तो सेंटेंस का मीनिंग ब्रेक हो जाएगा। तो ये खतरा प्यूराइटन में नहीं है। अगर हम पूरा सेंटेंस मैच करते हैं तो वो मीनिंग एज सच रिटेन रहता है। यहाँ पे लॉजिकल यूटिलिटेरियन रिपर्टरीज में हम वो मीनिंग मिस कर जाते हैं कई बार। Now, cross references and similar rubric. We must understand about these cross references and similar rubric to understand the repertorial language. They are also essential to study these things like cross references because rubrics may appear both in the most obvious place and somewhere else in addition. हम देखते हैं कई बार रूब्रिक ना केवल किसी एक सेक्शन में बल्कि किसी अन्य सेक्शन में भी दिया हुआ होता है। For example, in mind, you can find fidgety, and then again in the extremities under hands you can find fidgety hands. In the legs you can find fidgety legs. So this is the same rubric given at different places. Now in mind you will find cross references. See extremity, leg, fidgety, feet. This is the cross references. If the patient is representing only fidgety in feet, we have to go to the extremity. If there is fidgety of whole body, he's restless in the whole, there's restless type feeling in the whole body, then you can take fidgety in general or restlessness in general. Otherwise, we have to go in the particular. So this is shown by cross references. Now, similar rubric, we find that when a rubric is given like abandoned, you will see in bracket deserted feeling. So it says that you can match which one serves better to your case in the same chapter. So you can take the other rubric if it is fitting better to your case. Sometimes no single rubric covers the patient's symptom in the repertory, and two rubrics have to be combined to serve the purpose, especially if both such rubrics have a lot of dissimilar remedies. For example, patient shows a tendency to be very orderly, but irritates furiously if can't manage it. Here, irritability along with fastidiousness will serve the purpose because both are having different remedies. If both the rubrics are having same remedies, there's no use of combining them. Now, the use of an appropriate dictionary to understand the meaning of rubric. This is another way to understand the repertorial language. It's important to understand the exact meaning of the rubric so as to make exact use of it with greater confidence level. Mostly in Kant's repertory, mind section requires a lot of referring to a dictionary, and Kant himself used Webster's dictionary in his time so that uh, this will be appropriate with it rather than widely used Cambridge repertory. Use of such dictionary enable us to differentiate between similar rubrics and to make use of cross-references wherever given to reach at the pinpoint rubric for appropriate repertorization and reaching to the intended group of remedies for final elimination. तो अगर सही रूब्रिक का सही मतलब समझ करके हमने उसको सिलेक्ट किया है तभी हम केस के एसेंस को रिपर्टराइजेशन में ले पाएंगे, तभी हमारा रिपर्टराइजेशन सही मायनों में उस पेशेंट का रिपर्टराइजेशन होगा जो कि उस डिजीज से सफर कर रहा है, और तभी हम सही ग्रुप ऑफ रेमेडीज पर पहुंच पाएंगे रिपर्टोरियल रिजल्ट में, और उनको कंपेयर करके हम राइट मेडिसिन के ऊपर, राइट रेमेडी के ऊपर पहुंच पाएंगे एलिमिनेशन मेथड से. The dynamic of dreams. Dreams represent the subconscious drives, especially a peculiar dream is, if repeated again and again, points to its peculiarity. तो ऐसे डिजीज जो रोजमर्रा की तकलीफों के ऊपर बेस्ड हैं कि आज आपका किसी से झगड़ा हो गया और ड्रीम में आप झगड़ने का आपको ड्रीम आए, तो दिस इज नॉर्मल थिंग। लेकिन कोई एक ड्रीम अनकनेक्टेड जो कि डेली अकरेंसेस से अनकनेक्टेड है लेकिन फिर भी आपको बार बार रिपीट हो रहा है, तो दिस इज type of peculiar symptom. Example, a person usually having a sound dreamless sleep reports that he is seeing a particular type of dream. Such dream has repeated thrice in a period of last 7 days, that he is fighting with someone and automatically he draws his leg forcefully on the wall near his bed, hurting himself and waking up in pain, then again falling asleep as the pain subsides. So, we must first understand the exact importance of various rubrics to be justifiable to convert the symptom of our patient into the language used in the repertory. तो हमें सही रूब्रिक को पहचानना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है। जो कॉमन है, क्वालिफाइड रूब्रिक ही नहीं है, हम उसको अगर सिलेक्ट कर लेते हैं तो हम रॉन्ग मेडिसिन पे पहुंच जाएंगे, तो ऐसे में हम पेशेंट का कुछ भला नहीं कर पाएंगे। So we have to select the qualified rubric. Now, another way of understanding the repertory language is to understand the peculiarity of the symptom. Whole homeopathy rests on the principle of individualization, which would never have been possible without considering the peculiar, the queer, the rare, and the strange feature in the patient's portrait. It mainly consists of peculiarity in origin of disease symptom, queer progression of disease rather than the usual one, कि उसका origin ही बड़ा peculiar है। peculiarity अक्सर आपको disease के origin में दिखाई देगी, queerness उसके progression में आपको दिखाई दे सकती है, rare accompaniments to the disease which Dr. Bonigason portrayed far better. रेयरनेस आपको अक्सर अकम्पनिंग सिम्टम्स में दिखाई देगी और डॉक्टर बोनिगासन ने उसको बहुत अच्छा पोर्ट्रे किया है कॉन्कॉमिटेंट के रूप में। देन स्ट्रेंजनेस इज द आउटकम ऑफ डिजीज, इज द सिक्वली ऑफ अनयूजुअल टाइप। डिजीज के एंड पे कुछ अनयूजुअल आउटकम हो जाता है तो वो अक्सर स्ट्रेंज सिम्टम्स में आता है। तो ये हमने आपको डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बताया है PQRS का, peculiar, queer, rare और strange symptoms का, कि disease wise अक्सर वो मिलते कहाँ हैं। These symptoms are so peculiar that we should be aware where they are located in the disease as well as in the repertory. Then they do not require any interpretation, but an exactness in searching for them. So we locate them as and when required. हमें ये देखना ना चाहिए कि उनको कहाँ सर्च किया जाए रिपर्टरी में। We should practice the repertory in various ways so that we can be able to reach on these peculiar rubrics easily when they are required. Position of symptom in the life space of the patient. रिपर्टरी लैंग्वेज में जब हम सर्च कर रहे हैं किसी चीज को तो हमें पता होना चाहिए उस सिम्टम की पेशेंट के लाइफ स्पेस में पोजीशन क्या है, सिचुएशन क्या है, उससे भी पता चलता है वो कॉमन है कि अनकॉमन है। The symptom narrated by the patient has to be matched with his or her background. That is to say, the situation of patient as per his or her life space, which would really give a clue that the symptom is common or uncommon one. For instance, a lady of 47 years, a widower, carrying all responsibilities with great interest of her family of 3 persons, has now turned indifferent towards them for last 6 months, but doing better in her job and is promoted because of extraordinary performance and suffering with irregular and profuse periods which are quite painful for last 9 months, having showed for 4 times in this period, but prolonged, painful, having large clots, accompanying with backache in sacral region, worse by rest during has all common and uncommon elements in this case. अब देखिए वो लेडी जो 47 ईयर्स की है, जिसके मेंस्ट्रुएशन इरेगुलर हैं, प्रोफ्यूज हो गए हैं और पिछले 9 मंथ्स में 4 टाइम शो हुए हैं पीरियड्स, और वो अपने बच्चों को जिनको बहुत ही प्यार से और अच्छे से पाल रही थी, अकेली विडोवर है, लेकिन अब वो उनके प्रति इनडिफरेंट हो गई है, उनसे नफरत सी करने लगी है, उनका ढंग से देखभाल नहीं कर पा रही है, लेकिन ऑफिस में उसका परफॉर्मेंस एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी बना हुआ है। तो आप देख रहे हैं इसमें कई पिक्यूलियर, कई कॉमन और कई अनकॉमन एलिमेंट्स क्लियरली दिख रहे हैं। कॉमन एलिमेंट्स आर रिलेटेड टू मेनोपॉजल सिंड्रोम, लेकिन वो डिपेंड करता है डायग्नोसिस पे। शी इज 47 ईयर्स और उसके मेंस्ट्रुएशन डिले हो रहे हैं, लेकिन प्रोफ्यूज इरेगुलर भी हैं, तो ये एक मेनोपॉजल सिंड्रोम की निशानी है। There is a tendency to fibroid in her family. The resultant menorrhagia and pain, including gynecological backache, is there, which may be due to that fibroid, which we have to confirm by ultrasonography. Whereas the uncommon thing which is running in the whole story is the contradictory symptoms, indicating clearly towards ignatia. This is a resultant of biomic repertorization, which is happening in our minds, which happened because by reading all those symptoms, we are constantly comparing them with the knowledge of our materia medica, with the life space of the patient in question. Therefore, we are knowing which one are peculiar and where this peculiar symptom can be met in materia medica. And then we are reaching at the remedy, that is ignatia. So this is the repertorization which is happening in our mind while reading this case. This is biomic repertorization. It is must that we should understand structure of repertory and make use of cross references wherever given, along with rubrics or as separate chapter as in BBCR. It guides us to plan the rubric as per cross-reference to be jotted for suitability in different chapters to reach at appropriate as per language of the patient and the type of rubric. तो हमें क्रॉस रेफरेंसेस का और सिमिलर रूब्रिक्स का बहुत ही अच्छे से यूज लेना होगा ताकि हम प्रॉपर रिपर्टोरियल लैंग्वेज तक पहुंच पाएं. So the patient's language has to be converted into the exact repertorial language to reach at the proper medicine. This is the most necessary thing. So these cross references and the similar rubrics are a guide to reach at them promptly. For example, fear of falling from heights. The similar is the delusion of falling. Is the similar is the locomotor ataxia in which there is fear of falling. Then again the similar is vertigo. But again similar is a lack of confidence while walking. So we have to take the rubric in the right essence. What the patient wants to say, why he is feeling imbalanced, why there is a fear of falling. We have to reach at the right rubric amongst these 5 similar rubrics. Which one is indicated? We have to pinpoint. So this was all in this lecture. The references were taken from Dr. Farooq J. Master's lecture, from Dr. Kent's Repertory of Homeopathic Materia Medica. We have discussed about Merriam-Webster's Dictionary of English Usage, and the references are also taken from Dr. Rajan Sankaran's The Spirit of Homeopathy, published in the year 2008. So Betiya, hope you liked and grasped the session. In case you have any query, please mention in comment box given here. We will resolve the query at the given time as allotted by the university. Hope this lecture has satisfied your quest for knowledge. Thank you for being attentive. Please take care. See you soon.